What is up, friends? Welcome back to College Sports Corner, starting our second season now, going through college sports from week to week. Just got back from vacation, had a pretty good vacation, but all good things come to an end, back to work, yeah. But anyway, hey, 6 more Saturdays. College football is back, thank God. Media days have started. We're going to go over the Big 12, what was said this last week. They did for a couple days. Got some news items and stuff. Hope things are good where you are. Here in Texas, they are hotter than hell. We were like having anywhere from upper 90s to over 100 degree days every damn day. Hope it's a little bit cooler where you are, but I think most of the country is under some kind of heat wave. Anyway, let's get down to it. Like I said, Big 12 Media Days. We're going to go over that. Got quite a bit of news and stuff to go over here first before we get to what was said there in Arlington. Couple sad items to start off with. Sorry to do this, but y'all probably heard Oregon tight end Spencer Webb died after striking his head when he was doing a cliff diving. There was an accident while he was cliff diving. 22 years old. I was looking at his stats. Played in, I think he played in all games last year. Had some decent stats the year before too, but. Sad, man. Only 22 years old, and season's fixing to start here soon. So prayers to Spencer Webb, his family, his teammates, his friends. That's just 22 years old, man. That is just too young there. Unfortunately, another sad item. Former Michigan coach Gary Mueller, he passed away, 81 years old. Michigan coach from 1990 to 1994. He had a 44-13 record while he was coaching the Wolverines. Won a share of the Big Ten title 3 different times. Big Ten Coach of the Year twice. 4 out of 5 bowl games he won. And he also won 19 straight conference games. He also coached at other places. I want to say he coached at Detroit Lions and a couple other places. I forget where. But anyway, one of the college football greats. He is gone now. Gary Mueller was 81 years old. Some things from in the news from the Big 12 Media Days. Big 12 Director of Officiating says, horns down gesture is disrespectful to players on the field and can still be a taunting penalty. Yeah, whatever. I mean, just whatever. Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy wonders why UT and Oklahoma are still allowed in Big 12 business meetings. You can tell he's pissed they're leaving. I'm kind of pissed they're leaving too. It made the Big 12 a pretty damn good conference with both of them in it, even though Texas has been down. But you can tell Mike Gundy he's sour about everything going on, which I can understand that. Hey. Texas Tech fans, you excited about this $200 million football stadium and facilities project? Includes a 4-story building that will include locker rooms, coaches' offices, field level clubs, all in the south end zone. And from what they were saying at Media Days, I believe their last game there at Jones Stadium is going to be against Oklahoma. I think that's what they said. As soon as it's over, that game's over, they're going to start tearing that south end zone up. Some of you might remember back in 2005, I think it was, Stanford, the old Stanford Stadium. Remember that last game? I think it was against Notre Dame, but the TV kept showing all the tractors and bulldozers and cranes all around. And soon as that game was over and everybody was out, they're going to start tearing that place down and build the new Stanford Stadium. I actually didn't think they would get it done in time, but they did. I mean, they tore that thing down as soon as that game was over and started, and now Stanford has the stadium they do in that exact same spot. So that's what they're planning on doing. The last game, they're going to start tearing it apart. Pac-12 starting media rights negotiations. The conference is actually now set up to receive less money now for each school now that USC and UCLA are going to be gone. Had they stayed, they'd all be getting more money, but I guess when your 2 top dogs leave, I mean, unless you bring in 2 more big top dogs to replace them, money's going to be kind of not spread around as much as it was when they were around. They're also exploring, to go with the story, they're also exploring all expansion options too. So they're looking to replace UCLA and USC. And there's also talk that Washington and Oregon, and I think somebody else is maybe looking at leaving the Pac-12. I think that talk's kind of died down. I haven't seen anything else. So anyway, okay, a couple of basketball items. Gonzaga and Michigan State will play on an aircraft carrier. They're going to do it on Veterans Day this year. Pretty cool, I guess. And the 2022 Jimmy V College Classic, December 6th, Madison Square Gardens for the men, Duke versus Iowa, and Texas versus Illinois. December 4th will be the women's. They're going to play on campus. UConn will go to Notre Dame, and Va Tech will go to Tennessee. So there's your basketball items there. Day one, Big 12 Media Days. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Probably take some heat for it, but I don't care. The coverage sucked. It was on TV, ESPNU, if I remember right. All you got there was the commissioner, Q&A, the new incoming commissioner, Q&A. That was it. If you wanted to hear what the coaches said, they went to the desk after they came off the podium and came down and sat and talked with Andre Ware and the others. You could see the question Q&A between reporters and coaches, but you had to pay and get ESPN Plus to do it. This is freaking stupid. People pay enough for cable, satellite, streaming services, all that, and then the ESPN, Disney, whoever the hell it is, wants you to pay more money just so you can see the Q&A with the coaches. That's some of the biggest, greediest BS I've ever heard in my life. Makes you wish somebody like Fox or CBS would just throw a whole crapload of money and take college sports away from ESPN. I don't know whose idea it was, ESPN's, Big 12, somebody there, but whoever came up with that idea, you suck, and hope you're enjoying your sitting in your mansion while the rest of us, work day to day to keep this country going. All right, so Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby, he's on his way out. August 1st, I believe, is when the new commissioner comes in. He said the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the country. It's a damn good conference. I don't know if it's the best, but it may be close to it. He praised all the ADs in the schools for their response during the COVID problem we had a couple of years ago. He's real proud of the way all the schools handled it. And that was pretty much it. Not too much from him. New commissioner, Brett Yormark, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. He came up, reporters asked him some questions. He said a few things. He said he's about family, loyalty, integrity, and dependability. Said he wants to grow and build the Big 12 brand, which is understandable. He will leave no stone unturned to help build the Big 12's value. Multimedia rights is most important right now. That's what he wants to get done there at the Big 12. When they asked a reporter, I forget who it was, asked him about Pac-12 schools joining the Big 12, he said, we're going to explore all options and all situations, but no definite plan. Says he's an advocate of NIL, but some things need to be redone. Rules, regulations, and all that, which I think most people agree needs to be done. Said he received tremendous support from Texas and OU when he was in his hiring process. So, I think it was Heather Dinich from ESPN asked him about is he in favor for playoff expansion and all that. He danced around it, didn't answer. You could just see him on his little marionette puppet strings just dancing all around it. Didn't really answer anything about it. So, I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is pretty interesting. He's a big music fan. He actually played drums in a band with his twin brother. So, if you're a music fan like me, you sat back, you heard that, you're like, cool. Okay, so, first day. Baylor was up first, Dave Aranda. He said keys to football is life and is how you respond to the good and the bad. That's true. I guess all of us can use that. How we respond to good and bad things in life, and that's how you're going to get along. So he said life and football, that's the key. So remember that. Says we count on our players doing their jobs, and they count on us doing our jobs. Named Blake Shapen starting quarterback already in the spring. Two straight units in spring, or two strongest units in the spring ball that he liked were the O-line and the D-line. So that's cool because that's a major components there. Team needs to stay glued to reality, he says. Call out guys who aren't giving their all and keep things going in a positive direction. So that's much of what Baylor said. Dave Aranda, pretty much what all he said. Kansas, Lance Leopold, his second season there at Kansas. I did not realize this, but he was 6-time Division III national championship at Wisconsin Whitewater. So I can see why Kansas went after him, but we'll see how it works out for him there. Says they're building consistency. Like the communication between all his players in spring. So they're all communicating real well during spring football. Said they need to find a way to play 4 quarters in football, which I think every team is looking for that too. He said he learned his first year in the Big 12 that it's a physical and run-oriented conference. So he's going to have to work on that kind of stuff. West Virginia, Neil Brown, 4th season. Some of the things he said were, need to stop the run and run the football better. So JT Daniels needs to earn the starting quarterback job. He's just not going to come in here from Georgia and get it. He's going to have to earn it. New OC Graham Harrell brings confidence and understanding to each game day. All right. Strength of the team is the O-line and D-line, just like Baylor. What hurts them about, this is kind of interesting here. This goes back to why some conferences take certain teams and stuff. He says what hurts them about being in the Big 12 is they are the most Eastern school. And sometimes it's hard for parents to be able to travel west back over there to Oklahoma and Texas and other places to see their kids play, which that's totally understandable. So he said that's what that's one of the problems with them being in the Big 12. Not really a problem, but one of the issues of them being in the Big 12, being so far east from everybody. Said he loved the work ethic of his players in the spring, so he likes what he sees there. Kansas State, Chris Klieman, 4th season, says they're going to an up-tempo offense, less huddling. That's what their game plan is this year. Deuce Vaughn does everything for them, everything they ask for him. They want him to get the ball more, so he's kind of giving his game plan out early in the year. Nebraska transfer quarterback A.J. Martinez, he says he has great chemistry with the team and OC, Coach Klein. So Martinez is fitting in there pretty good after leaving Nebraska. He said most of the defensive line missed spring ball due to illness. Thank God they got fall ball. So, man, when they're all out for spring ball, ooh. All right. Told his team the road to the conference championship begins now in the summer. Not next fall, or not in the fall camp, but next summer. He said this year is the most excited he has been about his recruits. He says they have a great locker room this year. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's building up all kinds of relationships. So he's really happy with his locker room. Next up, Oklahoma State Mike Gundy, 18th season. Said Notre Dame win was the biggest in program history. He said his culture there at Oklahoma State is built on mental and physical toughness. And he actually said, this generation is not tough. He said, Mike Gundy don't care. He'll say it. He don't care. 70% of sacks from their defense last year came from a 4-man rush. Pretty impressive there. Depth on defense, he said, was the key there. That's why that happened. Quarterback Spencer Sanders, highly intelligent and understanding the offense totally. That's what he said about old Spencer. Staff and players need to work harder, make it positive, but work harder. Yeah, Mike Gundy, he's not afraid. I think we've all seen that. He'll say what he says, and people. He even made a point that if we can't toughen our players up, then they're just gonna have to go. So, so he don't care. Mike Gundy does not care. He's gonna tell you what he thinks, and evidently, if we don't like it, we can go to hell or whatever. Oh, by the way, he does his best thinking in his tractor when he's rolling hail bales, hay bales. There we go. Yeah, when he's out there on the tractor doing hay bales, that's when he does his best thinking because nobody's out there bothering him. So, okay, day 2, Oklahoma. Brent Venables, first season as head coach there. Coached under Bill Snyder, Bob Stoops, and Dabo Sweeney. So the guy's coached under some great coaches. Probably learned a lot of great stuff over the years. So Brent says most important thing to do is develop relationships with the current roster. 40% of it are new players. Needs to replace the last players with experience, maturity, and leadership. And offensive coordinator Jeff Libby, he's going to run a more up-tempo offense than they have in the past. Texas Tech, Joey McGuire, first season. He's got, any of you here watch from Texas, you know how high school football here in Texas is basically king. He's got 7 Texas high school football coaches on his staff. So he says players are buying in on the coaches' plans. He also said that he wants to conquer West Texas because there's a lot of good football out there in West Texas. And he wants to conquer that and bring all the players to Texas Tech, keep them from going to other schools and other conferences. So he says he wants to conquer West Texas because Texas Tech is pretty much out in West Texas anyway. Defense is good. Running backs, they're good. 3-horse battle for quarterback. He's going to pick a starting quarterback this fall camp. He says they're not going to rotate the quarterbacks, but possibly you're going to see all 3 of them on different packages throughout the game. So they may have a triple threat there in Lubbock. We will see. Iowa State, Matt Campbell, 7th season. Like Matt Campbell, like what he's done there at Iowa State. He said lost talent and leadership in the offseason. He said talent is the hardest to replace. Building a program built on trust. Coached his daughter's softball team in the spring. They went 18-2, won the championship. So good for him. New quarterback Hunter Deckers plays and competes hard. Watched and learned from Brock Purdy, who is now no more at Iowa State. Says he stays. He said he's had other offers from other schools to go other places, but he stays at Iowa State because he likes Ames and he wants to build a program there. That's cool. I respect him for that. Some of the coaches jump ship all the time, and as soon as somebody comes calling with more money, they jump, take off. So, got a lot of respect for him. I'm not saying that he's going to stay there for his whole life, but after what he said there, that's pretty cool. TCU Sonny Dykes, first season, got SMU back on the track the last few years. Kind of crazy here. Those of you know is TCU and SMU, one being in Fort Worth, one being in Dallas, are rivals. And Sonny Dykes comes from SMU, across the Metroplex of TCU. So I'm sure that left a lot of sour taste and a lot of SMU fans and stuff. But it is what it is. He's a big believer in getting involved in the program, getting fans involved in the program. I think he's even talked about inviting them out to practices next month when they start fall practice and other things. So get the fans involved in your program and you'll have success. Wants to continue on the success and capitalize on the success that Gary Patterson built. Wants to play championship level offense and defense, just like every team does. Depth on O-line is excellent. Speed on skill positions, excellent, he says. Quarterback, 2-man battle. Dugan and Morris need more consistency from each of them, though. So whichever one's got the most consistency, he'll be your starter at the end of fall camp. Speed on the back end of defense is superb, he said. Wants to recruit the DFW area and East Texas. A lot of good players up there in the DFW area and along East Texas. Those schools out there in Longview and all that, they got a lot of good players. So he wants to concentrate on that area, get players where he needs to from other places, but he kind of wants to conquer Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. Last but not least, Steve Sarkisian, second year there at Texas. He says year 2 is when is when the rewards will be reaped. So this year coming up, the rewards will be reaped for the Longhorns. So Steve Sarkisian says. He says the players need to trust in the game plan, trust in each other, and keys to finishing the games. That didn't happen last year. They must get third down stops and fourth quarter turnovers. Again, I think every team wants that. Third down stops and fourth quarter turnovers. Quinn and Hudson, they're battling for starter quarterback. He likes both of them. The key is putting talent around them, getting good skill players in there to make them look good and help them out, score touchdowns. He said he will know where his team stands week 2 versus Alabama in Austin. I think most teams know where their team stands when they play Alabama. So anyway, that's it. That's that. This week, SEC Media Days. I believe they're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And if they go by what they've been doing the last few years, you can see everything on the SEC network. You don't have to pull more money out and get ESPN Plus like the Big 12 is making you do. Also this week, the ACC, I believe they're having their media days Wednesday and Thursday. And then the following week, Big 10 and Pac-12 are having their media days. And then other conferences are having theirs, the MAC and all them. But once again, even though ESPN carries their games on their networks, they still want you to pay for ESPN Plus so you can watch. Because they just don't think you need your money. They need their money. Disney needs their money, not you. So anyway. All right, so we will be back in a week to go over what was said at SEC and ACC Media Days. Once again, 6 more Saturdays and college football is back. Man, y'all have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy it. Stay cool. I'm going to try to here because, like I said, hot as hell. Anyway, be careful. We will see you back next week to go over SEC and ACC.